per annum, 6% per annum. So if you got 6 million and you're returning 6%, if you got a million shillings and you're returning 6%, that is the interest rate on this money per year. Remember, it is to help these people. This money is aimed at those that are prepared, transforming the 39% who are not in the cash economy into the money economy. And my guest is already on set. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Mr. Moderator.
Better late than never.
No, I was not late. I communicated, I had a very bad jam somewhere. Yes.
Okay, since this is not court, I'll excuse you. Otherwise, Doctor, for a long time, many Ugandans have been eager and are asking themselves, when is this money? When government releases just bunches, but it was joy to those that had ready circles when we saw the Prime Minister placing that computer to start off the disbursement of this money to their accounts. Now, this brings in the question, monitoring and efficiency and effectiveness of the parish development funds. This is where we want to begin from, because now Pillar 3 is ongoing.
That's right. Good morning, viewers, and again, thank you, Mr. Moderator. The issue of monitoring, especially monitoring the efficiency of the PDM funds, and then the effectiveness of the PDM funds, right away starts from when the money is being, when the money, Ministry of Finance sends the money to maybe Bank of Uganda, then it goes to the district, then from the district to the circles. Now, efficiency is about how quickly, how cleanly, how cheaply is the money of the PDM being used. First of all, when the Ministry of Finance sends the money, you remember the Prime Minister was hitting a button. That is all an efficient way of sending money. But the other question is, when this money is sent to wherever it is sent, how long does it take to hit the account of the parish circles? That is issue of efficiency. When the money hits the parish circles, how quickly, when the circles are prepared, do they access this money? All those are issues about efficiency.
Now, let's understand these things right. You talked about the button, then where the money goes to. The Prime Minister said this money was going direct on the accounts of these circles. And I want to believe that the moment the button was clicked, these people got the money. Then, is the money on these accounts but they can't access it, because that would be a different story? Or is it readily available for them to access?
When the Prime Minister or whoever clicks a button and they say the money has gone to a bank account, there are other formalities that must be carried out for that money to reflect in whichever account that money has been sent. Have you ever never been told that, hey, Robert, somebody sent you some money on your account, you go there and you don't see it? Is it the first? Have you had that case? Somebody says, I've sent you money on your account, you go there and the money is not there. But the money was sent. So there are some formalities that must be done very well, as much as the button has been clicked. When it goes to that account, yes, and the other formalities for the recipient to see it done. Because there are times when they can ask you later, where has this money come from? Especially when it is a lot of money. If you are trying to access it, are all the signatories active on your bank account? But it is my hope that now all the signatories of those PDM circles where the money was sent was done. So it is of my view that the account, that money should have hit the accounts of these circles, and now the next phase is how do these members of the different circles access this money. Remember, there's a lot of preparation going on for the different enterprise group members to get this money. You are aware of that. So it is not that even though the money has been sent, you might find that there could be some other procedures or processes which have not been prepared. But I think most of the places where you see that money has been sent, there's some very good level of preparation, and I'm sure very soon those enterprise groups will be accessing that money to do what they want to do.
Doctor, just thinking broad, when we talk about Pillar 3, because parish development model has gotten 7 pillars, and this was launched recently on the 26th of Feb. that is at Kibuku District, at Kibuku Primary School by His Excellency.
Yes.
Today, in October, and of course there are some monies that were released earlier, don't you think we are in a rush to give people money? For example, when we look at these pillars, we have pillar 1, which is production, storage, processing, and marketing. That would say, yes, it is pillar 1. I don't even feel this has been done sufficiently on ground. Infrastructure and economic services, which will back pillar 1, because when people have these goods, they have to travel on roads and all that. Then pillar 3 is financial inclusion, which we are on now, giving people money. But social services, I think, in my opinion, I see government has always given money. But pillar 5 becomes relevant to me, which is mindset change. Because I look at things being hurried, rushed, most of pillar 3, and don't you think we may end up doing the same mistakes that we've always done when it comes to these initiatives aimed at lifting people out of poverty?
Now, that pillar mindset change, pillar number 5, is a core pillar that actually cuts across all the other 6 pillars. You know, mindset change, first of all, you need to be given right information, which helps you to make decisions. Now, these enterprise groups or these people in the different circles, by now, they need to be having the right information for them to make right decisions on how to use this money. Now, if this money hits their account, and then they have not selected the right enterprise as enterprise groups, they are set up maybe in the areas where they want to get the inputs of whatever they want to do. All that has got impact on how to use this money. And these are parts of efficiency monitoring that must be carried out on the efficiency of the parish development model funds, on how they are being used. So when that monitoring is carried out and those issues come out, these are the ones now, maybe the other ones which might have not yet received the money could even get the money faster. But there are several things that have to be done. But one thing is that on the mindset change, when they tell you money has been assessed, you should be knowing that there are parameters to follow to be able to get this money, and your money must be set to do that.
What measures or stopgaps have we put in place, Doctor? You're a specialist in parish development model, you're a development consultant. What measures do you think that make this very hard for people who have plans of squandering this money? Because this is capitation grant. This money at the end of the day, it has to be, you have to pay it back. Though it has the lowest percentage I've ever had, at least 6% per annum, really is low interest rate. We go to commercial banks and you scratch your head twice, thrice, but this is so little too. But still we know that unless, you know, when money hits an account, when people know they have money, just look at when the month comes to an end. But these people who are used to getting salary, all bars flood. Now this peasant, the target group we are looking at, the 39% out of the cash economy.
That's right.
Knowing sentence as we have money. What are those stop gaps that will ensure we are not using money to marry, to pay dowry, to do this, to drink and celebrate?
Mr. Moderator, the way this passionate model is being implemented, especially on the issue of cash, cash has been minimized in such a way that when, for example, you are an enterprise group and you are dealing in piggery, you are maybe 20 people, they will calculate how much expense will go to each individual of the enterprise group. After they have calculated what are the inputs that are required in this piggery project of these 20 members, they will say each member will get 1 piglet, and that piglet will cost, say, 20,000 shillings. So if there are 20, that is how much? That is already 400,000. They say each member is going to have maybe a style where this piglet will stay, maybe some core material that will be bought. Now, all of those are put together in the work plan. When they are procuring them, it is the circle that has a section that will help them to get those inputs. Not that they give the money to each of the members of the enterprise groups. No. So they have minimized the issue of cash going into anybody's hands. The cash that people will see, these members will see, is when they have raised their pigs, they have reached a stage of selling, and when they sell, mind you, they are in a group. If there are 20 and maybe each of them is going to sell about 3, you see they will have they will have 20 times 3, there will be 60 pigs to sell. Now when they sell in bulk as a team. Then the money for each of them, the 2 now will come to the individual, but mind you, they will first cut off the interest, which they got from the circle as a group. Then it is the other money that you have got from as an interest from the 2 pigs you have sold as an individual that you can play around with. So you can see the initial part, the investment, it is going to be very, very hard for you to just get access to money and maybe do your own things. That is the arrangement of how these 39% people are going to be accessing this money. Not cash, but originally into inputs, into services. Then when those services, they do whatever they're supposed to do, when they are now selling out the products, from the products, they first get off the interest, and then the real cash now goes to the beneficiaries. And at that time, if somebody wants to marry, if somebody wants to do this, to pay school fees and all that, that's when they will be able to touch the money directly.
Very interesting regarding the parish development model. Indeed, if well embraced and we all support it, then we believe this will transform the 39% who are not in the cash or money economy into the money economy, and will be fighting against extreme poverty. But one thing also that comes to my mind when you talk about this monitoring, I was looking at the secretariat, then you have the parish chiefs, all the human resource required. You know, anything where it has financial support, we get to panic. Doctor, are you content that we've put these in place in all that 10,594 parishes?
That's right.
Last time I was in this side of Mukono Deep, forgotten the parish. I tried to ask, where's your parish chief? How knowledgeable are you about the parish development model?
Right.
You know, and I was shocked. And other technical, these committees, the circle committees, it was very funny, you know. So we are beginning to release money in millions, a lot of money in billions actually. And when you go on the ground, I don't know what you've observed. This is my journalistic observation.
Okay.
You find that even the would be knowing don't know. Go to politicians, there it is disaster. We had some meeting with councillors and they were very green, you know, and I'm afraid. Actually, one thing that excites me is how government has been keen in selecting circle members.
Okay.
Because I'm afraid to certain group of people I was meeting under the circle, some were better off than I seem to be. And I was like, are you among the 39 for sure?
Now, well, somebody might be poor, but it might look well. You cannot rule that one out, Mr. Moderator. But there's a criteria that is being used to select those 39, whereby already you are saying there is information gap. People are not fully sensitized. People are not yet fully aware of some of these parameters, not the entire country. There are some areas where you will go and people understand what parish development model is. The issue is the issue of awareness creation is still minimal. And to the best of my knowledge, the parish development model secretariat is putting in a lot of effort in this. UBC is actually one of the media houses so far. Now they are going to engage UBC to actually concentrate on sensitizing the public, the citizens, on the parish development model funds monitoring and the routine controls. And the UBC is set to begin on that. And you know, you remember UBC has got 11 sessions across the country. It broadcasts in 29 languages. So whatever message on the PDM now regarding the funds, monitoring of the funds and the routine control of these funds is going to be broadcasted by UBC in 29 languages across the country in the TV station that UBC has. So I think it's a process. It's a process, but I'm also worried as you are worried because it's taking a little bit long. It should have been by yesterday. But always they say a kid will always crawl before a kid can run. It's a program, I think, which has come to stay. And we are not going to do 100% achievement. Let's go on. Already you and me are saying there's inadequacy in awareness and sensitizing the public, which the Parish Development Secretariat is really trying to emphasize, and now empowering and getting in touch, contracting very many media houses. But I'm happy that the UBC public broadcaster, which has got a whole national coverage, is now being given this opportunity to get on board and start sensitizing the public in the 29 languages across the country.
Now let's go back to the issue of human resource that is needed to ensure effective efficiency, monitoring and supervision of this. We talk about the parish chiefs. I would say at least 90% of the parishes, the 10,594 have gotten parish chiefs, though some still also have a few issues. Yes. Now we go to SACCO membership and other technical people that are needed.
Right.
Doctor, I know you're so much into this, you've done research, but I believe you agree with me that even there, when you go on ground, some of these areas, they still lack proper organization of leadership that is going to manage, that is going to enforce compliance and effective monitoring. And yet, we seem to see that the releases being done. So what are we going to do? People are saying, even the parish chief will tell you, yes, I now have this enterprise, I have this enterprise, the Epitome SACCO has gotten the money, but even when you call to meet, one was telling me the challenge of Ugandans is that NGOs have spoiled them. That whenever you call for a meeting, at the end of the meeting, they go to a desk and they want to write Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Ntono, SACCO member, dog breeders, whatever, then transport refund, or there is a common word facilitation. Then I sign 50,000. And now when you say, come, we do this, you don't see these people.
I think it all depended on the approach that these programs were conceived and were being implemented. It is very clear that the parish development model is a program by the people, for the people, and managed by themselves. So, if they have sat down and they say we're going to do a bigger project, and they have done a budget for themselves, they have been guided on how to do that budget, because there's no way they will put the money that whenever we come to meet, we take 50,000 from our money. That money is not there, it is theirs. So it's the way the previous programs were being conceptualized. It is the way the people were being helped that time. But completely the world has changed, the country has changed. People are being encouraged to develop as people, as communities. So that was kind of a vice that was introduced at that time in the program inception. But PDM conceptualization is completely different. You are making sure that people know this is our program, we are setting out our own initiatives, we are doing our own work plans, we are getting whatever we need to do by ourselves. So that issue, that syndrome that we go somewhere, because there's nobody who has come from outside. The meeting is themselves. Nobody has come from Kampala, nobody has come from a sub-county. These are the same people in their own locality. So whom would they think is going to pay each other?
Now, Doctor, we also have this syndrome. These are government things. How are we going to make the parish development model? People feel it is theirs, it is owned. When you talk about it, it's for the people, planning for the people, choosing what they want. This is you, the elites. Go on ground. This is like another government program has come. How do we bring people to own? Recently, I visited some village that is in Kawumu, where His Excellency has a model farm. And there is an organized poverty alleviation department of State House. So I was moving around because in that area I was looking for good cows.
Yes.
Because under that project, government gave people very good cows. So who can sell some? But this is what happened. I reached a certain veteran, and I'm like, hey, oh, entire president here. I'm like, this is your cow. You're getting the milk. You're selling. Have come to get a cow from you. And this person is saying, Mr. Entire President. So even at the parish development model, when you talk about their pigs, they're planning for, people have failed. I don't know if, government has failed, or to make people believe and own, this is ours. We should sweat, we should protect. A person will tell you, The piglet is sick, but will tell you, wa parish tanaba kulabikako. How do we bring that understanding to them?
Robert, Mr. Moderator, and the viewers, it's about the mindset. Because, and the mindset, and then the media, to educate our people.
Now you doctors have complicated words.
No.
Okay, how do you impart mindset change?
Yes, mindset change is about showing somebody direction. What is PDM? You begin from the basics. What's parish development model? Is it the program as usual, or it is something that's people must be told in their own way, in the easiest way they can understand, and that's what now communication is trying to address. If you don't get that one right on changing or making the information as easy to understand as possible, then it is a problem. But to assure you, I'm seeing a lot of materials that are being used around. As much as some people still say, a government program, but this is a program of the people. It is the conceptualization of the parish model is completely different from these other programs.
Whose mindset change are we looking at?
All of us.
I love that, because recently,
all of us,
in Kabbalah, you saw the stories that were coming
yes,
in.
Yes.
How
yes.
chief accounting officer and those that we think for maybe their mindset is upright, decided to chew this money.
All of us, right? Actually, right from, I don't even know, but all levels have got aspects to address in their minds. First of all, there's this thing called patriotism. We must know this is our country, this is the little money that we have, we are trying to... Now, tell me, since you were born, Robert, where you do hear that government is sending money to a parish, and that money is going to stay at the parish forever. They are going to manage their money, whatever it is, they are going to grow it, and that's how they are going to be surviving. And every year they are going to be sending them 100 million. I hope it will be, the 100 million will go, but every 100 million, every 100, to stay at the parish, and they use it as a revolving fund within that community. Have you ever heard of it? And where have you seen this kind of programming? Maybe just in the neighboring countries. Tell me.
Well, the number of programs there I don't want to talk
No, programs where money is sent by government to the communities, and the money stays there, never goes back, and it's not even handled by bureaucrats, technocrats to steal the money.
I think for the time I've been around, I'm no longer excited with money being sent. I'm excited with the impact the money creates.
Yes, but the PhD model is just a few months old. You cannot see the impact now. That's why you still see these challenges. People don't know what to do. They are saying, our money, when is the money coming? Quite a lot still needs to be done, especially in sensitization, in providing information, and encouraging people to move. So you remember when NADS was starting, people were saying, oh, this, but I feel in my own understanding and in my own appreciation, apart from all these other programs, for me, I liked NADS, because even my mom, who has never gone to school, used to talk about NADS.
So
what magic did NADS do?
Now, you've brought in comparisons where I never wanted to go, but let me go into that.
Yes.
Parish development model seems in the minds of locals, in the minds of people like your mom and others, seems to be in the minds of, it's not felt, it's not seen. Maybe now that we have financial inclusion, when you talk about nuts, you would know that this is a garden for nuts. These are cows given, these are pigs given. Yes, NADS performed maybe 50-50, depending on where you are.
Exactly.
It didn't get...
It didn't get 100%,
yeah,
but it did
because
something.
There are some people...
It touched some people's
there
ways
are
of
some
living.
people
Yes.
who got... Because the mistake we did is when we turned the NADS into a commodity giving and moved away from agricultural financial advisory. But for people who got that advice, my father is one of them. They got that advice. They know how to better grow their crops, better look after their cows, their animals, the advisory bit of it.
The extension services,
yeah.
yes.
But when we missed and now said get, I think that is where we lost it. People looked at earning more. But you would feel, you would see, parish development model, when you look at production, storage, processing, marketing, we don't see that on ground much.
No,
infrastructure. Then when you go there, let's understand this. Now when you go to infrastructure, then they tell them, no, these things have been ongoing. So how do we make a Ugandan, away from, not everyone is going to benefit from the monies, feel, see, if possible, touch?
Yes, can I educate you a little bit, Robert? Where have you seen a program that is linking production, right? It is linking social services, health and education. It is linking financial services. It is linking information. It is linking mindset change. It is linking administration together. In other words, a program that is holistically addressing an issue, but there are challenges of capacity, which I fully agree with you. And those capacities are being planned for slowly, because all the money is not there at the same time. But I think we need to appreciate where we are beginning from. And some of the issues that happen in NAD are actually being used as lessons to improve or to implement the PDM. So I think for me, let's give our PDM a chance. Let's do a lot of awareness. Let everybody participate. Let everybody be positive, especially the management of the funds. Making that we are able to monitor the efficiency of these funds. We are able to monitor the effectiveness. Now, the effectiveness of PDM monitoring at this particular time may not be very feasible yet, but let's give it a year or two. We shall start getting best practices or lessons learned. But let us strengthen awareness. Let us strengthen sensitization. Let us strengthen doing things right. And I think, in my view, the sky is the limit for our country.
Well, our viewers, thank you for being with us. At this time, I want to come to you. You can go on our social media platforms. Most of we have a WhatsApp number where you can send us a WhatsApp message. If you don't have data still, but you have at least some airtime, you can send us a text message on the number that will be coming up on the screen shortly. And we want to know your views regarding the parish development model. Are you already a beneficiary? Are you in one of these enterprises that are going to be receiving money? How knowledgeable are you? Are you among people who are just politicizing this with little knowledge? Are you well equipped? And this is what we want to hear from you, because we know this is a good program, like many have always been, but how do we ensure that we make good out of it? Because it is coming to transform your life. It is coming to improve livelihoods of people. And the framers believe that the 39% of people who are not in the money economy, this is an opportunity for them. Dr. Constantine here was saying which program has for this time wholesomely looked at all issues at the parish level. And above all, it involves you. It is you to plan what you want and manage your finances very well. So just hit that number, and I'll be able to read your message either through WhatsApp or a text message, and Doctor will have something to reply to some of those. Now, Doctor, also when we look at the parish development model, today we are so much on effectiveness and efficiency of funds.
Yes.
But much as we talk about the media, also we know that political leadership has capacity. Yes, they could be eyes on, hands off, but they are very vocal. And some of them, people listen to them. Religious leaders, traditional leaders. How have we involved them
Excellent.
to be part of this?
Excellent. I think that's a very interesting question you're asking. I was involved in some discussion of the strategies. And around this issue of the parish development model monitoring, there was identification of different stakeholder roles. And these different stakeholder roles, they are looking at, first of all, when the parish development model is being implemented, what is the role that somebody is going to play around this area? For example, inputs, the funds have come. So the issue is there's a team that is packaging information for the different actors so that they are informed on their roles, and they are going to be helped, and they are going to be monitored, and their capacity is going to be built so that everybody does their role, especially in monitoring. That all the activities, especially when funds are released, when activities are being implemented, each of them are doing their roles. But more so, the most people that are being focused so are the community leaders and the religious leaders in these communities, because they are the most listened to by especially these 39% people we are targeting. They listen to their local leaders, they listen to their churches, they listen to their traditional leaders. Those are core people to play a very key role, and different messages are being packaged to sensitize them on them, and then they will start using that information to popularize and evangelize, if you want, PDM.
Well, very interesting there. Doctor, let's also now look at what is the chain of monitoring, and because people need to know, who do we hold accountable when this money is being released from Ministry of Finance? How does it trickle down?
Okay.
What are those committees, groups that must be put in place, apart from the secretariat, the parish chief? How do we
Actually,
ensure?
what has happened, Mr. Moderator and viewers, they have developed what they are calling guidelines. And these guidelines are stipulating different players at which levels. Right away from the Ministry of Finance, they go to the district cow, from the cow they send to the parish. So all those roles have been stipulated, only that have not been communicated out. And that's one of the roles that UBC is being given, to get those roles, get content out of those roles for different layers or different levels, cascade that information and make sure this information is packaged for both people who don't even see, who don't hear, but put also in their different languages, so that everybody knows his or her role in monitoring and following up this PDM funds utilization. Yes.
Well, like I told you earlier, please, you can be part of the topic of discussion this morning by simply hitting us with a message, either WhatsApp or the traditional SMS on the number on your screen, and I can guarantee you I'll be reading out those messages. Just keep them brief, and I love it when at least there is your name on the message and maybe where you're watching from. And let me begin by reading about some. Okay. Good morning. The parish development model would be a good idea, but it's already politicized. Look, for example, to the leadership at the secretariat. It would employ people like doctor to the doctor explaining issues right now. We in our village, parish development model is not yet there. Then we have, I'm Jude from Mutungo. I think too much corruption. Government should first work on it to make Ugandans to work in the country. Well, so far, let me also, please don't call on this line. Kindly don't do that, and don't send us a voice note. I'll appreciate that. Good morning. Thank you for the program. I'm Faith Alupo. My question is, some of us are not in any of those entities you have talked about. We just finished school. How shall we be able to benefit from the PDM? Let's first hit those.
Yes. Thank you very much. The issue of politicization. I think the politicization of this program, they always see, and do you know why the politicization is coming in? Is because this is a program that touches the masses, and even, by the way, people who are so serious and have their country at heart fall among this group. So every politician would want to use this group, exploit this group, and say, you know, money is coming. Have you got the money? I brought you the money. So all in all is about, first of all, our politicians also need to be, but I'm sure the higher politicians, for them, they are already clear, but our local politicians, they still lack information to guide our population down there, and they need to be told, and they are aware that this program is non-political, whether you are FDC, whether you are NRM, whether you are which party. This is a program for everybody. When you are setting up enterprises in a village, it doesn't matter that it is only the NRM or FDC that go into that group. It is a program for all of us, and a lot still more needs to be talked about on media to avoid or to reduce, because politicization will always be there. Then too much corruption. They are developing different systems, which I know, but for me the best system is for us to empower our population on what are the most corrupt areas, and the population start talking about it. So the issue of corruption can only be actually fought by our people down there, especially the beneficiaries. Show them the leakage areas where they expect their money to be tampered with, and tell them, preach, watch these sections and catch people or report people who are playing along with these points. That one, corruption, I'm telling you, people don't touch that money.
And also clarify on this, you have a message. Please teach people on government programs and party programs, because if you're not of a certain party, you can't receive aid. Eddie from Kasese.
Exactly. Now, this is a privatization we're talking about. This is a program for everybody. It's not about FDC, it's not about PDM, NRM, it's not about the other party, no. It's about people given information that this is a program for all of us. We all live in this parish, or we all live in this village. So I'm not going to go away, I'm not going to die. So we all have to survive. This is a program that has come to address issues of poverty among all Ugandans, irrespective of the political affiliation. But we have to, as I say, we have to keep on talking. Yes.
Well, Doctor, we can talk till tomorrow regarding the parish development model, but in just a minute, let me have your parting shot.
Well, the key point is, I think the population out there is lacking a lot of information. I'm now employing really the Parish Development Secretariat, and even us, like the media houses all over the place, need to play a very, very big role. Two, everybody next needs to take this Parish Development model as an engine for development. Whether you are aware of or are not aware of, in one way or the other, we shall all benefit. I thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Constantine Bitarike, who happens to be a development consultant, but also a specialist on the parish development model. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Fellow Ugandans, let's all embrace this program. He who has not researched has no right to speak. Get the right information so that when you talk about the parish development model, you understand it very well. Have a lovely day. Ruben is here to take you through the world of sports. See you tomorrow, God willing. Stay safe.
United against Spurs, one of the great Premier League fixtures, with the added crackle of a packed Old Trafford.